So we've done a pretty good job of adding some different kind of stuff to our environment. Adding a couple props, like with all of our flags and our little bolts. And now we added an enemy. Now we want to add some sound just to kind of round it out. And so to do that, there's a couple ways to go about it. The first part is getting the sound, right? And if you've watched the other video, the graphics and sound, that has some suggestions on sites you could go to. But you could also find audio just available on our machines. Depending upon what kind of machine you use, the audio will be stored in certain places. But you know, every time you do stuff on your computer, sometimes it'll make noises. And so all of that audio is actually stored on your machine. So for a Windows 11 machine, which is what I'm currently on, you could find the media in the C drive, Windows, and then we're just going to look for media. And it should be alphabetically. And so this just has a whole bunch of music in here. And you're going to see there's some in here. Unreal is not going to recognize, it's not going to recognize MIDIs or raw files, but it will recognize all these WAV files. And there's a lot of them. And one of my favorite ones I always like is chimes. And so if I want to add this to my game, all I have to do is open up my content drawer, find the location I want to put it in, right? And I'm going to click and drag this into it. And now you can see it's here, and I can play this in here so you can hear the chimes. And if you wanted to, you could edit this. If you wanted it to, this volume was a little low, so I could go to volume and I could try to make that go up. Like we'll make it to a 2 and see what a 2 sounds like when we play it. It's a little louder, so that's good. So so I'll save that and have that be the sound that I have. And then you could add it as a trigger for an event. And so we have the events where we collect these bolts. And so I think that's a perfect place to add a trigger. So what we're going to do is come in and open up that blueprint class, right? And you can see here, this is the code that we did last week on how to basically, right, it was going and saving off how many times it collects that bolt, right? So adding it up, and then if it's 5 or more, it's going to do some information, and no matter what, it's going to automatically destroy it. So before it destroys it, we might want to do something else, which is play the sound. So what we're going to just do is easily just drag out here before the destroy actor, and we're just going to say play sound, and we're going to select the play sound, and we could just move things around so it looks pretty so we could read it, right? So all we're doing is visual. Unreal doesn't care if everything overlaps, but it helps for us to have it not overlap. And then I click on select the asset, and I'm just going to look for my chimes, which is right here. And then I'm going to compile, save all, and play. And now when I go and I collect a bolt, it makes a sound of the chime. And so that's as simple as that. If you want to just collect that. There's also, you might want to have background music, and there's a couple ways you could do that. One of the easiest ways to do it is to just add the song to your environment. To do this, we first need to get a song into our environment, and one that is going to be longer than just a couple seconds that you're going to play as that we used for the bolt. So I went and found a free to play, no license required song from a website, and it's just a couple minutes. It's like 1:25. So to get this into our thing, just like we did the chimes, we're going to just open up our content drawer and click and drag this in. And you see it gives a big name, so we might want to rename it just background, call it background music. And just so it's easy to find and everything. And I'm going to go in and edit it and just make sure that, we could look at the volume. This is one that we're going to want to play low, so we might have it only at like 0.5. And then also we want to make sure it's looped. And so this is just checking to make sure that it's looped right, because it's 1:25, so if the game goes on for 5 minutes, it'll loop it multiple times, right? So that's it for saving. We don't need the bolt open anymore. And so then we're just going to add that music by click and drag it in here. It doesn't matter where, anywhere we're in here, it should work fine. And we're going to be able to play now, and it just automatically has the music in there. And then granted, that's still really loud. I thought I made it softer than that, so if you wanted to, you could try to make it even lower. It's always up to you on the sounds. Now I'm going to delete it from my field right now. So we called that background music. Because there's another way we could also add it to our environment. So I'm just going to hit delete. And the other way to do it is to add it to our level when it begins to play. So we're going to click on this, on the third person environment level. We're going to click on, kind of looks like a flowchart. And on it, it has level blueprints, and it has open level blueprint. And so now we have this, and we get an event graph like we've seen before, but this is when the level starts. And so we're going to do this, like click right from it and just have play sound 2D. And we're going to go pick that sound that we made, so background music, and compile and save all. And so now this will also play when we start. Perfect. So that is a couple ways to add sounds to your game, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.